Hey guys and gals, it is Mark Coe for the 15th of October. Just wanted to take a look at a fairly, I thought, range-bound day, but even with range-bound, some good analysis and some good movement off of those ranges in the S&P, the E-mini. So the E-mini, I'll tell you what we had walking into the day. So this is the way I've been looking at the E-minis, is that you've broken lower and you're now consolidating. I'll show you kind of how I'm describing that consolidation just so everybody can see. The consolidation using basically this block right in here that I'm highlighting. It'll extend just below 50 to just above 80 into like 85. The extremes of that are obviously you can see you traded up to the figure and then you traded down to 2712. So you're talking 2800 down to 2712. Those are the extremes. So on any movement beyond this range, you have to start to look at that. So the real kind of heads up area on the top, and so think about it like this. How did the market enter this consolidation phase? It entered it from the top, which meant sellers controlled it down into this consolidation. So the sellers still have control. So the preference should be to look for sell side at edges and buy side at bottom edges, right? That should be a preference in any consolidative market. But the idea that you entered it with very strong selling, those sellers still have a lot of control. So the only opportunity I saw today was trade toward the top edge. And I'll just show you, I wanted to kind of walk through and show you where the range is being derived from. Again, it's a 3-day consolidation. That's what you're seeing. And there's a very definable edge, extension beyond it, edge at the bottom, not maybe quite as pretty just because you haven't had as many tests. I look at it more from a standpoint of like 27.45 to 50 on the bottom, and any break of that starts to look for extension, but short of that, that 45 to 50 has really been able to contain. So now that we know approaches to this area should be viewed as sell side, let's think about it from a short-term perspective and start to see what's in there and can you actually get short. I mean, the trick is always, okay, I want to be able to be short at this or I want to be long at this. How do I actually get that position? So think about it from the standpoint of knowing walking into the day what your levels look like. Right, so here's your 85 kind of on top to 80. That's really your top part of your zone there. And you can see price doesn't trade into the zone, it falls just shy of it. But again, think about what's going on here in the S&P. You've seen 100 plus points in a very short period of time. 1 to 2 points is not necessarily making or breaking the move. I think what you have to think about is on approach into this area, what do you look at from a zone perspective? And again, in this area, right, and I'm just grabbing prior tops, so you're grabbing focus in this area, and that's really the zone that it achieved today, and that was the high on the day, right? That was the high in the day. So if you think about it from the standpoint, it's not much of a leap to go out and say, well, I'm going to take some sell side up near that top edge, and I'll cover if I'm wrong. But if I'm correct, just a minor rotation back down to 50, not even the lows, 45, but 50 gives me about a 28 point move, 27, 28 points. That's $1,350 per one contract. That's how big that move is. So when you start to think about it being 30, you're talking $1,500 on one contract. So yeah, we get some nice stuff here. We get sell count, but really it's all derived from being able to recognize that zone. So that's what we looked at this morning. That's what we looked at this morning in terms of zones. It comes in on a long bias, early US, but that's okay. It's still a consolidative zone that we're marking both top edge and bottom edge, and it played really well. It played both sides of it. So again, we're seeing an increase in volatility over the last several days, and I said I really expect that to continue as we head into the end of October and in late fall and into November and December. But essentially, I think you have to look at it from what are your opportunities, and that's what you continue to look at. You continue to look at the zones for opportunities. So I hope everybody had a great day. Somewhat quiet on our front. I mean, a lot of markets were fairly, as I said, fairly range bound, but there are opportunities. You just have to be patient. This S&P that didn't come till like 2:30 in the afternoon, 2:50, I guess you can see the top part of it. So that was a long day to wait for that level. But again, that level paid over $1,000 per contract. So, all right, guys. Well, cheers for Monday. Have a great night, and we'll chat with you everybody tomorrow.